What's up, everybody? This is Big Southern here. Hey, thank you for tuning in. You are now listening to the Southern Corner. Hey, on this episode, it's going to be short, sweet, and to the point. Hey, this is dealing with the J-O-B. You are tuned in, or hopefully you listen to this as on your lunch break. Hey, I'm going to give you 30 minutes of, a little info. Well, maybe not 30 minutes. Let's do 15 because, you got to warm up your lunch and things like that. Hey, I'm going to give you a little info. J-O-B. Man, have you ever been on the J-O-B? Now, you have been on your job for quite a while. You've been doing everything they asked you. You've been being on time. You ain't been late. You've been taking your lunches the exact time and coming back on the exact time. You ain't never done anything out of the ordinary. You've always done what you was asked and then some. Being a team player, you know what they ask you on those job interviews. You know, you be a team player, you do all this, do all that. But in all this, you still feel like they basically uh, taking advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? And you working along somebody that don't do nearly what you do, half of what you do, or quarter of what you do. That one person, that two people that take advantage of the time when they go to lunch. You know, they might go and get their lunch if they got to go off of campus and go get their lunch. Then when they come back, they clock in. See, that was on one of my last jobs I had. You know, people was always watching me, but they wasn't watching nobody else. And I figured it out. I know why they used to watch me. They used to watch me because I was a threat. I was a threat to their environment. I was a threat to their ecosystem, as you could say. I was a threat because I did everything they asked, whatever they had issues with or any problems they needed solving, I did that and then some. Then on top of that, I was creating systems to make it easier for them to do their job. See, I was a threat, is what you call a person that makes them look bad. And all I was ever trying to do was just go to work and come home. You ever wanted to do that? You ever wanted to just go to work and come home? You ain't trying to do no more, no less. All you trying to do is go to work and come home. You ain't never bothered nobody. You ain't never tried to start no mess. You ain't never been messy. You just tried to go to work and come home. But you always got that one person, maybe even two people, that just don't like the way you work. They don't like the way you move. They don't like you being around. Or they always say, why you always trying to do all that? You be doing too much. Oh, I'm just doing my job. See, because I'm trying to cover my behind. But see, when they say, oh, you doing too much, that's code word for you making me look bad. So you need to slow down or you need to chill. Now, in my 20 plus years of working, 25 plus years of working, and I can say, hey, I'm 40 years old, but I've been working since I was 16, so longer than that. But I can say, when people say, oh, you doing too much, that means you making them look bad. And if you making them look bad, then that means they gonna have to work harder. And you know, there's a lot of people out here that want the job, but they don't want to work the job. They want the job, they don't want to do the job. They want the job, but they want other people to do their job. And they still want the same pay. Now, is that fair? No. But hey, that's the way this world works. And on my last job, that's how it was with me. I was a newbie, came in, very good with my hands, mechanical, electrical, did all that stuff, but they always tried to stump me. They always tried to make, oh, Sean, I know this job is hard, but, if you ever need some help, no, I don't need your help. Because I see, after a couple of weeks of being on a job, you can kind of see who messing off, who ain't really about their business or don't really know what's going on. And when you try to actually get on a job and you be like, in the resume or whatever, I'm sorry, not the resume, but in the job description, they say, hey, we'll train. Then when you get there and they don't really train you, they just throw you into the fire. And then hopefully you can swim or you can put the fire out. None of that. So that was my last job. They were like, yeah, we're gonna train you extensively. Don't worry about it. You're gonna. Then when I get there the first day, they just throw me in that bad boy, and then they're like, okay, just follow him. Well, shit, what if you following somebody that don't even know what they doing? They don't know the processes. They don't know everything that they supposed to be doing or the right way. So they're doing the wrong things, and they teach you even more wrong things. But then now the boss is coming to me and asking me, well, okay, why are you doing it like this? Now you got to look at the person that you working alongside of. I'm like, well, I mean, I guess, they was telling me how to do it, and then they want to sit there and look at you like you Willie Foo-Foo, like, oh, I never taught them that. And then that was happening to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to say nothing no more. I'm not even going to mention nobody's name. I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to get the documentation. I'm going to go over the procedures, the process. I'm going to read it for myself, and I'm going to learn how to do this the right way. So then when somebody come to me, or when the superiors come to me, supervisor, manager, whatever, the plant manager, operator, whatever, anybody, I got the answer. And anybody that know me, anybody that's worked with me in the past, they know. Once I learn something, ain't nothing you can tell me. When I go out of my way to learn those processes, to learn what we're supposed to do the correct way, that way you have that ammunition, you have that power. I'm just saying, man, you own the JOB and you that golden goose, they take advantage of you. Everything is all good as long as you saying yes. As long as you saying, oh yeah, I'll do it. Oh, hey, we got this project. Nobody else want to do it. Do you mind? Oh, sure, I'll do it. Oh, yeah, thanks, whatever. And they'll buy you lunch, or they'll get you some little stuff here and there, a little extra to keep you hush hush, bring you a soda, so whatever. I don't know, whatever your job is. But it's always that. Now you can say yes a million times. A million times you can say yes. It just take that one time for you to say, nah, I'm good. Nah, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Or that's not safe. Now, what you're supposed to be able to do, you're supposed to be able to take up for yourself. You're supposed to be able to say, hey, this ain't safe me doing this job. This ain't safe for me to do this procedure. But oh no. You say that no that one time, everything go out the window. Now, if you feel like this, you probably nodding your head right now, like, you know what, son, you sure right. You sure right. Well, I know I'm right because I done been through all that. I done seen so many things. I done been through so many different situations on job. People lying on you. People, working behind you, or you asking them, hey, can you finish this up for me? And they'll mess up, or they'll mess up on something and won't say nothing. And then you come in the next day and then they blaming you, and you like, well, I let such and such told them to go ahead and finish up. And then they like, no, they never told me that. And so it's like you almost got to cover your behind on every little thing you do. When you start something, that's why I'm like, how I move through life. When I start something, if I start something, I need to finish it. I want to finish it. I will finish it because I don't need nobody coming behind me. And of course, anybody that know me, well, especially when it's coming to like electrical and stuff like that. When I do electrical, it's a certain way I do it. It's a certain way that I fold my wires, that I run my wires, that my point to point stuff like that. I like to make it nice and neat. And if you're in electrical, you know about the spaghetti bowl. That means when you go behind somebody, like you open up a panel or something, and it look like damn spaghetti. You don't know what's what. Ain't nothing labeled correctly. Ain't the routes ain't clean. Everything is just all over the place. It's like a big old spaghetti bowl. And shit, some meatballs if you on some really shitty jobs and stuff like that. But man, and I don't like nobody coming behind me to mess up my process, or I don't want nobody coming behind me if they got to come behind me months later and service the wires and stuff, and they come in, they be like, you know what? Whoever did this did a damn good job. They did a nice job, man. It's clean in here. That's what I want. So anytime I do something, but man, you been on your job, man, and you have to deal with those people that no matter how hard you work, no matter how much stuff you do, how much right things you do with one wrong thing, or you say yes a million times, but then at one time you say no, and then they look at you like you just slapped them, or you talked about their mama, it's whatever, and it ain't fair. But I say this: as hard as it is to find work these days, especially now in this economy that we in and stuff like that, a lot of times, these jobs, And I don't know who's, for the vaccinations and all of that stuff. I just know a lot of these jobs, they either want you to be vaccinated, they want you to do this, they want you to jump through these hurdles, or they want you to go through so much stuff to get these jobs, and then they don't want to pay you. But then if you do happen to finally get on these jobs, and you like, you know what, the pay is right, the distance is right, I can drive here 10 miles and drive back, and I ain't gotta burn that much gas and stuff like that. Because I don't know about y'all, when I go for a job or I'm looking for a job, and the miles gotta match up to the hours, and the hours gotta match up to the weekend. I gotta have work balance, work life balance, stuff like that. That's how I pick my job. Um, and if all that match up, the last thing you're thinking about is having to deal with other people's personalities or other people being jealous of what you're doing, or or being jealous of just you. Period. All you trying to do is just work. That's all you trying to do. All you trying to do is provide for your family, go to work, and come home. They won't let you just go to work and come home. Because if all you want to do is go to work and come home, then you ain't the right worker for them. They want you to be that worker that come to work, and then when it's 10 minutes before it's time for you to leave, they want to come to you and say, oh, by the way, can you work overtime? Or I need you to work overtime. And they want you to say, yes, I'll do it with no problems. You don't even think about it. You don't even put up a fight, no fuss. That's the kind of worker that they want us to be out here. And now, if that's you and that's what you into, that's understandable. But if you anybody that's like me and you got a family, the importance of being able to go to work, being on a schedule where you can say, hey, I'm going to go in at 8 and I'm going to get off at 4:30, or I'm going to get off at 5 every day. And if I want to work overtime, then I have that option. But those kind of jobs are drying up. It's very rare that you can get a job where you can say, you know what, I'm going to go to work and hey, I want to work overtime. Do y'all mind if I stay over? Oh, sure, go ahead. Yeah, that used to happen. Not no more. Now they expect you to work overtime, or in the job description, and when you try to look for something like on Indeed or something, and they be like, you know what, must be able to work overtime, must be able to work weekends, must be or expected to work overtime, expected to work weekend, and then they want to pay you less money, but want to throw that well, you can work all the overtime you want, like that's like they doing you a favor. That just means, okay, if you paying me less money, but now you want me to work overtime, that means now I got to work more hours, and I'm still going to make less money. Because if you would have just went ahead, instead of paying me $15 an hour and then telling me, oh, I can work all the overtime I want, pay me $20, $25 an hour, and then let me just work 40 hours, or let me work 45 hours a week. But oh no, they want you to work, they want you to take less pay, but they want you to work more hours. And that's just crazy to me. And I guess that's why, kind of like why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I'm like, I'm finding a way to be my own boss. I'm finding a way to just, to exist in this world and be happy and not have to be like, oh, I gotta go to work because such and such and this and that. And everybody gotta go and pay their bills. Everybody gotta do what they gotta do. But at the same time, at what cost? And then I know I'm being long-winded, but this is something that I take very, very personal. I advocate for the best working conditions when I go on jobs. And maybe that's just been my downfall. I'm loyal to the cause of being able to work in a good setting, a great setting, and being comfortable while you work, not having to kill yourself just to make a buck. A lot of these jobs, they always want to complain about safety and working safe. And if you have any issues, you can always call this number and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they don't care about that. All they care about is them numbers. And them numbers got to add up to them dollars. And them dollars got to add up to them big old boats and mansions and cars and elite groups and clubs and stuff like that. They got to make that bonus. They got to get that bonus. And if you get in the way of that bonus, then you got to go. And then they always tell you, well, if you don't want the job, it's always somebody that's behind you that want it. But it's a revolving door, and it's the same thing, and that's why the turnover rate is so high. They'll have people on the job 4 months, 6 months, and then after that, they gone, and then they just get in the next. And then most of the time, what they paid you, the next person, they're going to pay them 50 cents less, $1 less. And it may not seem like a lot, but it adds up to them getting that nice little bonus at the end of the quarter, or the annual bonus or Christmas bonus or stuff like that. That's what it's all about. So this is just my Lunchtime Rant. Hey, here on the Suthen Korner. Glad y'all tuned in. Hey, JOB, you working at JOB? Don't let that JOB work you, man. You work that JOB, but don't let it work you. Don't let it kill you. Don't let it take you under. Don't let it stress you out to the point to where you can't function in life. That JOB is there for you to provide for your livelihood, and that is all. If you're looking to move up, you're looking for a career, then go get that career. But just know, the higher you move up, the more you're going to have to say yes. The higher you move up, the longer you're going to have to just, hey, yes, yes. It's going to have to be yes and nothing else. But if you looking to do what you want to do, you're going to have to step out on faith. You're going to have to go and be your own boss. You're going to have to go and create your own. And don't let nobody tell you anything different. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You do what you got to do for you, whatever avenue, whatever path that you choose on that JOB. Just know, all you're going to have to do is say yes. But if you want to be like me and you just want to be like, all I want to do is go to work and come home, well, eventually there comes a time where all you're going to have to do is go to work and work overtime. And that's going to be it. And that's all it is. So this is my lunchtime rant on the Suthen Korner. Appreciate y'all listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this helped y'all. I'm going to be coming back with these lunchtime rants, these on-the-job rants and these situations and tell y'all some stories that I've had over the years and what I've been through and how I handled them. And I hope y'all listen and be able to take something positive from it. You know, it's a laughing matter, but at the time it wasn't a laughing matter. But hey, we all grow. We all got to do what we got to do. And y'all just be blessed out there. This your boy, Big Suthen Korner, Lunchtime Rant, and I'm out this mother. You heard me.